Shalom, shalom, Israel. It's your brother Adar Gabar. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahweh Shai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who've been ruling well through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put in their spirit to endure. Mighty shalom to the hopeful elect scattered four corners of the earth, in and out of congregations, teaching His word to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High increase them in the knowledge and understanding. Shalom to the wives and the single sisters that's believers of His word. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put in your spirit to endure and strive in this thing to be a virtuous and loving and silent wife. Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. This video, Lord willing, straight to the point, is going into 2nd Esdras chapter 5, verse 21 to 28. You know, when you start to know precepts, when you start to grow into the knowledge, we all want to get it in our head that the Lord has favorites. He has things that He have chosen out of all His creations. And we actually need to go in the scriptures for those things. So Lord willing, this is edifying. So this is 2nd Esdras chapter 5. And I'm going to start with verse 20 and read to verse 23. And this is what it reads. It says, "And so I fast 7 days in mourning and weeping, like as Uriel the angel commanded me. And after 7 days, so it was, that the thoughts of my heart were very grievous unto me again." Because he's about to get, he was getting visions. It says, "And my soul recovered the spirit of understanding, and I began to talk with the Most High again, and said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee one only vine." And that only vine is Yahweh Shai. This is St. John chapter 15 and verse 1. It says, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman." Yahweh Shai is the vine of the vineyard, which the vineyard is Israel, and the Most High is the husbandman, right? Just like how the Pharisees was husbandmen or husbandry, right? We all have roles, right? Drop down to verse 5. It says, "I am the vine, and ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing." So this lets you know how we live in life. We can do nothing without Yahweh Shema Shai being a part of our life, especially if we saying in righteousness. On the left-hand side, that's not Yahweh Shema Shai, right? That is Yahweh Shema Shai, but that's the left-hand side. That's that unrighteousness, that power on the left-hand side of the Most High, right? The Most High is chosen, and His elite and His elect are moving in righteousness. And this is why the chosen, right, need to be abiding in the vine, right? Let's go to Genesis. This is Genesis 49, verse 10 to 11. It said, "The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, right? And you got to understand that priesthood or to be a lawgiver, that was really given to the Levites, right? It says from between his feet until Shiloh come. Who would be considered that? Yahushai. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be, bidding his fowls unto the vine, and his ass coat unto the choice vine. He washes his garments in vine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. Right? And this is a prophecy that was told before time. And when we go into Isaiah 63, we will see that he's talking about Basra, let alone the other destruction, right? Isaiah the 13th chapter, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, verse 20 to 23, Revelations, right? Daniel, right? And we can keep on going and going, right? When we go to 1 Samuel 99, the Lord always spoke through his prophets before Amos 3 and 7, right? Before Zacharias and Luke chapter 1, verse 7, right? The Lord always been talking through his prophets because the prophets is his mouthpiece, right? The apostles, the evangelists, the teachers of his ministry are the mouthpiece of Yahweh Shema Shai, right? Now, to go back to 2nd Esdras chapter 5, and we're going to read verse 24 to 27. It says, and of all lands, right? We're talking about lands, of the whole world thou hast chosen thee one pit. That one pit is a landmass, right? We could say the Garden of Eden, right? But it's Yasharallah, right? It's one landmass that the Most High has chosen out of all lands, right? It says, and of all flowers thereof one lily, and of all the depths of the sea thou hast filled thee one river, which is the Jordan, right? And we can go into the book of Joshua where Israel actually walks through the Jordan. And the Lord said, as soon as all the priests' feet touch, go into the water, the Lord will separate the waters just like he did the Red Sea, right? And it says, and of all builded cities thou hast hallowed thee Zion unto thyself, right? And I'm going to just show you, it's not going to let me get it in this translation. But if I go into the Good News translation and go to 2nd Esdras chapter 5, where was we? What verse was that? Verse 25. So verse 25 in the GNT, it says, for all the water in the deep oceans, you have filled up this one river. From all cities that have ever been built, you have set apart this one city, Jerusalem, as your own, right? So the Lord set Jerusalem apart, right? Jerusalem is a set apart city, right? This is a set apart city. This is a set apart land, right? He hollowed it. He hollowed it to be set apart. That's what Quadash mean. That's what holy is. Holy is Quadash in the Paleo Hebrew, and it means set apart, right? Verse 26. And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove, right? We already seen lily in verse 4. So he said a dove. And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep, right? And throughout the scriptures, what do the Lord call his men? A flock, sheep, right? What do we call the prophets and apostles that go through the door? St. John chapter 10 verse 2. Anybody that go through the door is the shepherd of the sheep, right? So the ones that's the leaders, they are the shepherds. To who? Sheep. And who laid themselves down, right, for the children of Israel, right? Hamashiach Yahushai, and he was a lamb. When we go back into Isaac, Romans 15 and 4, things that was written aforetime was written for your learning, right? Isaac was supposed to be that sacrifice. He was saying lamb. Then later on, the Lord provided a goat, but it was supposed to be a lamb because the lamb is really Yahushai, right? Verse 27, and among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. And unto this people, whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all things. Right? So, first you see me break down the vine, because I had to show you that this is Yahushai. Because our argument in this ministry is not about a lily, right? We can go into the landmass. That's throughout all scriptures the Lord chose Israel. But people can't get it in their minds that the Lord chosen a peculiar people, a special people out of all people. And what did it say in 27? It says, out of all the multitude of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. Now, what I'll do is, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to 2nd Esdras, right? But I'm going to go into the G&T again. 5. And that was verse 27, right? It says, from all the nations of the world, you chose this one nation to be your own, and you gave its people your law, which is honored by people everywhere. So the Lord gave this people that he chosen, right, that he loved, right, he gave them a law, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to prove all things, man, right? The scriptures tell us to prove all things, right? Let me get that too. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21. It says, prove all things and hold fast to which is good. This is good to say that the Lord chose on one people. This is good to say the Lord hallowed a land, which is Israel, Jerusalem, Yasharallah, right? This is a good thing to say that the children of Israel need to come back and serve Yahweh Shema Shai with all their soul and with all their might and with all their mind, right? So what we here to do, we're here to prove these things, that this one people is who Yahweh Shema Shai is talking to throughout the scriptures, right? We'll go to Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1, because we already, Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, or it's Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. These are the Torah. Moses wrote, they got burnt, and Ezra had to rewrite these all over again. But when we were in Egypt, right, which was told, I believe, in Genesis the 15th chapter, prophesied to Abraham that his descendants will go into a land that's not theirs. And then later on, it's ushered in that the descendants from Abraham, Isaac to Jacob, they finally went to Egypt. And then eventually it showed who actually was taken out of Egypt as a nation, as a people. And that was Israel. And who was the one leading? Moses. So Moses was always speaking to Israel, and that's what we're going to attack. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. It says, these be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hayes and Roth and Diz Zahab, right? So he's speaking to all Israel on the side of Jordan in the wilderness. I had to bring you here because a lot of people say context, right? So what I did is I went to the beginning of the book. There's no say so after this one, right? So now we about to dig in there. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6, and we're going to read all the way to verse 8 because I want to make sure we can go to bed saying that, you know what? We learned something. He went the distance to explain each point, right? This Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 1. It says, now these are the commandments, the statutes, the judgments, which Yahweh Shemashai your power commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it, that thou mightest fear Yahweh Shemashai thy power, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou, thy son, and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, that thy days may be prolonged, right? And this is another thing to show you that this law and this love is given to descendant after descendant. So the Lord did not stop loving or choosing this one people. It's a bloodline, right? Verse 3, hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do them. Why he's not saying the whole world, all people? He said, O Israel, and observe to do them, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as Yahweh Shemashai of thy fathers have promised thee in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh Shemashai, our power is one Lord. And thou shalt love Yahweh Shemashai thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. In these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, in thy mind, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. Right? So that means that this is a heritage base. This is a bloodline base, right? This is given to generation after generation. If he said, teach your son's sons, and he said, diligently teach your children. You know, children grow up, then they get wives or they get husbands, and then they get children. So this is a generational heritage, right? Culture, right? So diligently unto thy children, and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, which is the first 5 books of the Bible, 613 laws, which we should be teaching our kids diligently, right? And when thou walkest by the way, and when thou layest down, and when thou risest up, and when thou shalt bid them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thy eyes. So what we should be doing, right? If the Spirit was compel us and we was waking up on time, right? We would be giving our kids scriptures before they walk out this house, right? Give them something to meditate. But you know, kids' mind span don't go that far, let alone us as an adult, right? Back then, our kids was more in tune with knowledge. Now we're in this society, it's hot, like our kids don't cleave onto knowledge as well. So if you do, I'm just saying for the ones that do, if you do have a chance where your kids is really clicking onto this knowledge like they do in school, right? All praises. It makes your walk even smoother because now your children can motivate you, right? Your children can be talking about the Lord. You know, your son the Spirit might draw him to start doing videos and reading, right? That's why we want to teach our kids. Let alone if your kids don't want to be taught, it's okay. They're going to be living around it because you're not doing holidays, right? You're constantly putting the Spirit in the words of Yahweh Shemashai in your house. So your kids they're gonna have to, right? But you have to make the commitment first. I just had to say that as a sidebar, right? So now, since we went over that, we're going to go to the 7th chapter, and we're going to read verse 6 all the way to 9, right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6 to 9. It says, a holy people to Yahweh Shema Shai. Holy is Kodash, and Kodash means set apart. What we was just reading in 2nd Esdras, right? So verse 6, it says, "For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh Shema Shai, thy power." Right? You are a set apart people from the world. Yahweh Shema Shai, thy power, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Right? I can keep saying this again and again, but you can read. Y'all can comprehend. He said above all people. What people is holy? Just go back to Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. Moses didn't change. I'm just going through precepts, and some of them, like I'm doing right now, is line upon line. Nothing changed. It's still directed to that one people. Right? Verse 7. Yahweh Shema Shai did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. Right? But because Yahweh Shema Shai loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he have sworn unto your fathers, have Yahweh Shema Shai brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of the Pharaoh king of Egypt. Know therefore that Yahweh Shema Shai, thy power, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Right? The ones that love him is going to be about his business. Right? That's going to do his will. And if they don't know his will, they're going to search it. And if they can't find it on their own, the Spirit is going to compel them to lean on a brother. Right? The Spirit is going to be on the men and the daughters of Zion to search the lost hidden treasures. Right? That lost hidden treasure is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we've been missing. Salaki, y'all. Right? That wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we've been missing as a nation. Right? Only the ones that love him is going to be drawn to it. Right? Hold on. Just because I just said that, let me just bring this out in St. John 6:44. Right? It says, "No man could come to me except the Father which have sent me draw him, and I will raise him up in the last days." Right? When you know that you're going back over the scriptures again and reading it slow, dissecting it, not trying to fast read through it so you can say, but slowly dissecting it, right? When we slowly dissect it and then we find out how to actually read the Bible, you are going to come, the Lord is going to reveal his mysteries. It's just like a puzzle. A lot of us don't rush to put the pieces together, right? We assemble all the pieces. We got all the edges, right? And then we carefully, slowly assemble all the pieces, because most of the time you put a puzzle together is always missing that one or second piece, but the piece is probably right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So if we draw to the Lord, we're going to understand these things, right? So now back to where I was at, right? So that they were supposed to keep his commandments, his law, statutes, and commandments, right? And these the same ones that he loved. This is Psalms 147, verse 19 and 20. It says, "He showeth his word unto Jacob," right? Jacob is the forefather of the children of Israel, but the Lord bounced back and forth. Sometimes he say Judah in Israel, or he say Jacob in Israel, right? Because what it say? It says, "He showeth his word unto Jacob, and his statutes and his judgment unto Israel." Jacob is symbolic to the southern kingdom. And when it says Israel, Israel is Jacob. That's Jacob's new name. But Israel stands for the northern kingdom, because all Israel all Israel is split up into two sectors, right? You have the Jews, which is the southern kingdom, and then you have the northern kingdom, which are the Israelites. But the whole nation, our Israelites, is just the three tribes, are the Jew Israelites. But they're Hebrew, they're Jew Hebrew Israelites, right? So the words from Genesis all the way to Revelation with the Apocrypha in the middle, right? Those words were shown unto the 12 tribes of Israel, and we can see that awakening happen from the 1960s, or to be exact, 1969, all the way till now, right? And it says, verse 20, and he have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh Shema Shai. And if you want, you can go to Second Esdras, I believe, the third chapter, the last two. I'll start at 34. It says, weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there is also that dwell in the world. And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. So the name of Yahweh Shema Shai is only found in Israel. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have kept thy commandments? Right? That thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. And precepts mean law. Let alone when we say precept upon precept, goes into us lining the verse or the context with each other. But precept just means law, right? And there's nobody else as a nation under the sun that been keeping the law or rehearsing the law, right? Getting put to death for the law, right? The ones that walked away from the law are God's chosen people, right? Let's go to Romans chapter 9, verse 10. I just got to turn my phone to this. Okay, so it is still recording. All praises. Lord willing, it can continue to stay on course. So I'm going to read verse 10 to 15. So this Romans 9, verse 10 to 15. It says, and not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. So this was all orchestrated by the Most High's purpose. That's why every day I try to tell myself, and I try to, tell the people, tell y'all, what is your purpose, right? And when you find out your purpose is to serve Yahweh Shema Shai, and if you are a man, most cases your purpose is to do the work. Find out what work that is. Some of us might not be that teacher. Even with a woman, find your work. You really should be having a husband because your work is under your husband playing a role as a wife and a mother. That's your that's your purpose, right? And for the elect, they're going to stand in their purpose that they were elected for, regardless if it's a 2/3 or if it's the elect, right? Verse 12, it says, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, right? How was it said to her? First Samuel chapter 9, verse 9. She was seeking a prophet, right? Because she inquired a message from the Most High. So it says, verse 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And we see it right there in Malachi chapter 1, verse 2 and 3, right? Verse 14, it says, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? God forbid. That verse was only talking about two nations. One nation he loved and the other one he didn't. Because a lot of us don't want to accept it. The so-called Edomites and the so-called Israelites are the main characters in the past, in that present, and our future. Right? The descendants of Jacob are going to always be the main characters as long as Esau is living. Esau is going to be the second main character as long as Jacob is in servitude. There's no way around it, right? So the Lord, is he unrighteous on this? No. It's no point of arguing because you're not arguing with us. You're not going against us. You don't accept it because we saying it. No. You have a problem that the Lord did it. And take accountability and say, look, I don't accept that the Lord is only accepting y'all. Then, after you do that, stop saying Jesus and God. Let alone if you saying Yahuwah Yeshua, or you trying to say Yahushai, if you don't believe it and you don't get it, just stop saying their name. Just like Elijah said, he said, I am jealous for Yahweh Shemashai. Right? I know y'all ain't going to listen to me. I know y'all not going to stop because of me, because I am nothing. But at the end of the day, you're not serious for the Lord. And guess what? I'm not better than you because I got to go harder. But I know, I guaranteed I put that on mama's biscuit without butter. I know and I believe Yahweh Shem Yahushai is real, and there's nobody but him. Is no other power, is no other God but him, unless he created them, right? And Lord willing, I'm still of this number. And even if I'm not of this number, it's only one power. And we were all asleep, right? The biggest deception, the biggest lie, the biggest act is when the elites just push distractions and not push truth, right? Because they want you asleep. Right? So at the end of the day, we trying to break the glass windows. We trying to break the walls. We trying to break everything these Edomites try to do to hide us. Right? We're trying to break out of this deep sleep that they trying to get us in. But it's really Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And the number one thing it is, you keep knocking at the door. You knock at the door where Yahweh Shai is at, man. To let me in. And if the Lord not letting you in, he must not be dealing with you because you're not sure. 15, it says, for he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So there's no need for us to keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Hey, it's going to happen because we need that back and forth. You need people on both sides. Some that don't agree, some that do, because the Lord has a righteous balance, right? And it helps you sharpen your sword. It helps you stay on your toes. Like brother's been speaking on the name. And I'm not going to lie. Brother's been talking more about Mr. Porkchop, but not speaking on the name. You got IUIC over here saying Yahweh Shemashai is the title. Everybody in Great Millstone, even Sam, Asher, Yarmayan, I didn't really get into it as much. You know, I did do my little precepts because I had my mind on other videos. But the name is very important. That is the biggest deception these elites try to hide from us, is the name, right? Hey, they most likely didn't have the name, right? The elites probably got the name, but the ones that was teaching us, guiding us, they didn't have the name, right? The Lord had to pour that spirit out on the elders that the Lord used to pave the way for this ministry, right? Let me not hold y'all up any longer. I don't want to add too many precepts, but it's like when the skillet is hot, man, get it while it's hot. So lucky I clicked the wrong one. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 27. It says, and ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahweh Shemashai, your power, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. Right? The Lord is in the midst of the righteous. Right? If he's in the midst of the sinners, he's observing what the sinners is doing. Right? Because we can understand, I believe is in Amos. Salaki, I got so many scriptures in my mind. I believe it's 9 and 8. The Lord has his eyes upon the sinful kingdom. The Lord is always looking at the wicked, but the Lord is always upholding the righteous, right? He's making sure no harm, no danger come to him, come to the elect, whoever they may be, right? The Lord is in the midst of the elect, right? That's how you know the Lord is here, man, right? Especially when brothers is constantly flowing in the spirit, constantly trying to feed the flock, just like he told Peter, right? This is Romans chapter 9, verse 4. Who are Israelites? To whom pertain the adoption, right? Who can get adopted back into something they were taken from, stripped from, right? Because the Lord stripped that inheritance from us. The Lord stripped that knowledge from us that we don't even know, right? So we have to get adopted back in this thing. And it says, and the glory and the covenants, right? Who? Right? But you will have to look in the scriptures for the track record. It says, in giving of the law, and we already showed that through the scriptures we already seen. Who was given of the law? Only Israel. That's plain. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. That's very plain. It says, in the service of the Most High, in the promises, right? What is the service, right? What is the duties when it comes to the Most High, right? And the Lord gives us the services of the Levites, right? The services of Judah, right? The services of the elders and the kings, right? But now we don't have kings. But yeah, we have elders, we have apostles, we have men of rank, right? It's different services in this walk of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And only the children of Israel is in that service, right? This is Romans 11 and verse 26. Brothers use oftenly. It says, and so all Israel shall be saved. As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob, right? All Israel is going to get saved in the end, right? And the ones that don't get saved here on this side and get that glorified body, they're going to come back again, right? Because those spirits go back up to the Most High. We have to know that those spirits is not just done away. They're not going to ever see the kingdom. They're going to come back again, but it's going to be the same thing like Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Ain't nothing new under the sun. The Lord created these spirits. Let alone when we get in the kingdom, that new spirit for all his elect is already done. It's already done. So even if we die on this side, right, the Lord is going to already renew everything. But it's the simple fact of seeking the Lord while you have a chance now, praising the Lord while you have a chance now, instead of going through death by pain. That would be an idiot way, right? So all Israel shall be saved, and out of Zion a deliverer, which is Hamashiach Yahushai, right? And what he's going to do, he's going to turn us all away from our ungodliness, right? And right now doing the work is like an act of it, right? The ungodliness of the world. It's like one little step. But when Yahushai come, we're going to really be washed clean from all godliness. And that's why this ministry is important for the children of Israel, for the ones that it was for. Because over the years and the generations and the times, our nation got dirty. That as soon as our kid come out the womb, that mother sucker dirty, right? And it's just by the mercy of Yahweh Shema Shai that we even found the ministry, man. Because the Lord could have said, no, I'm not dealing with you, right? This is Amos 3 and 2. It says, no, Salaki, yeah, 3 and 2. It says, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Let me start at 1, Salaki. Hear this word that Yahweh Shemashai has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, right? It's something very important about that first captivity. All nations wasn't saved out of that captivity. And it was Ethiopians, it was Agalans, probably saying their name wrong, and majority was Hebrew Israelites, right? It was majority Hebrew Israelites in the land of Egypt, right? So he says, you only have I known out of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities, right? Sin on sin, wickedness, right? The other nations have a different category of sin or wickedness. They're not in the same category as us, right? This is Psalms chapter 14, verse 7. It says, oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion, when Yahweh Shemashai bringeth back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice and Israel shall be glad, right? And this is what every day, this is what you're working for, that your that the Lord bring back your captivity, right? That's why women should be working on their role each and every day. The one brother, Elder Amawan Gabar, he said the time right now is wait, what was it? If I forgot, I don't want to butcher the words, but basically going in, if you can't take the heat, get out the fucking kitchen, right? Don't come in this that you've been in this truth for 10 years and you still can't get a hold of your emotions and your feelings, right? A woman jocking what a man is doing, or a man is in his emotion and feelings, and then now he stopped doing the work, looking at another brother, or complain about the wife, but he's not even doing anything, right? This ministry, you supposed to be growing, and things supposed to be falling off of you, as in ways, things that's holding you back to be a better you. We have to be the light, right? If a woman can still be one of those loving wives, but she's not a silent wife, right? She can have a burden or something she dealing with that's still held on to her, that she can't make it, that she can't be that one, right? While we still in this place, we have time to work on ourselves, right? So make sure you're working on yourselves, man. The Lord is gonna bring back our captivity. He's gonna, man, we ain't never going back into captivity again. And this is why we all should be working towards that. I never ruled cities, never ruled land. So when you, especially as you men, when you order your household through the spirit, it shows if you can order land, right? Could you really be a king? Niggas don't know if they can be kings. If you can't rule your house, you can't order your congregation into be in order and decency, excuse my language, how the fuck you think you gonna rule a city? The Lord just got this ministry to get you ready for what's to come. And if we want his favorite people, we need to get ready. Everyday work. Be a better you. Be a better man, right? A lot of us through the spirit, when we really know that we serving Yahweh Shemashai, that military mindset, right? You don't get comfortable. A soldier is always most likely on the go. A lot of soldiers don't really get to have that fun chill time, is because they got to get ready. They got to wake up early as hell. Hey, we got to do some drills. He's working out his body, and he getting yelled at in different conditions, right? And that's a mental thing. And that's what this truth is. Yahweh Shemashai using the men of the Lord to teach us every day. This is why there's no excuses for me or you, especially what I'm doing. I'm over here teaching, so I gotta watch the other men teach, right? So I can sharpen my sword, right? Salaki for that. We just got a few more, and then we out, right? This is Sirach. This is a good one. This is a real good one. This is Sirach, chapter 45, verse 1, and I'm going to read it to verse 5. It says, and he brought out of him a merciful man, which found favor in the sight of all flesh, even Moses, beloved of the Most High, and men, whose memorial is blessed. He made him like to the glorious saints and magnified him, so that his enemies stood in fear of him. By his words, he caused the wonders to cease, and he made him glorious in the sight of kings, and gave him a commandment for his people, right? So the Lord made Moses this light, right? Made him known in the midst of the nation and in the midst of Israel, right? And basically the Most High gave him a commandment for his people and showed him part of his glory. He sanctified him in his faithfulness and meekness and chose him out of all men. He could have chose anybody, but he chose Moses, and he chose him from a womb, right? Chose them in the womb, just like he did Jeremiah. Anybody that that get a role in this thing, regardless if they the lead, second, third in charge, fourth, the Lord chose you from the womb. It says, verse 5, and he made him to hear his voice, and brought him into the dark cloud, and gave him commandments before his face, even the law of life and knowledge, that he might teach Jacob his covenants, and Israel his judgment. So even Moses, all Israel understood of the northern and the southern kingdom of Israel. And Moses was teaching the southern and northern kingdom about their power, their God. Right? Right? Let's get Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. It says, and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushai, right? For he shall save his people from their sins. And I just want to say one thing for anybody that's slow-minded, right? In this time, the New Testament is getting orchestrated, established after Yahushai, right? But of course, people were scribing and writing, right? But in the time of Yahushai, they were calling him Yahushai. When he came out, his mother Karuchi, Mary, his name was Yahushai. J's did not come until the 1500. Get it clear and thick in your head. It was no J's until the 1500s, right? And the first Bible got printed on Weinsberg printing press in 1455, right? And the King James, it got printed 1611, and then when we kind of got established in America, they made a new revised version, and they took the Apocrypha out, and it was called the King James 1769, right? But it already quotes that this is Yahushai, because right after it says Jesus, Yahushai, it says, for he shall save his people from their sins. And Yahushai means he saves, like he's a savior, right? He redeems, right? And it's the same with Yahweh. His name means something. He is to be, he exists, right? You can, Elder Apostle, Elder Tahar, Apostle, Elder Gabar, Apostle, Elder Arimlab, Amawan Gabar, Inspiration and Motivation, Yaron Mayan, Sam, Asher. Brothers be going real deep when it comes to the name, man. They be really going in there deep. So it's no excuses, man. But if the spirit of Yahweh Shai is not dealing with you, you are not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it, man. So this is Matthew chapter 2, verse 6. It says, "Thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are not the least among the prince of Judah, for out of thee shall a governor that shall rule my people Israel." Right? And this is just going back even more to when we was in 2nd Esdras in the 27th verse, I believe, again, where it says, gotten thee one people, lovest in the law. This is just going back to show Israel again. Who's that governor? Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, right? And Christ, in real Hebrew, it would really be Hamashiach. It just means anointed, right? So that governor would be Yahushua, right? And he's going to rule his people, Israel, right? Of course, he's going to rule the nations, but when it goes into like this sentence, it's more of a possession. We are the possessions of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? If you can get it, right? This is Matthew the 15th chapter, verse 24. This is Yahushua because he was speaking to I think, this is the Canaanite woman. And he said, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Right? And guess what this woman did right after he said that? She bowed down and worshiped. Right? And even back then, all nations knew of the royal family. Right? Not Queen Elizabeth. They knew Israel was that royal family. Right? They knew that Israel was the nation that was covered and protected by the Most High. Even Nebuchadnezzar knew about us. He even knew the Most High, right? The Lord reveals his power. That all happened through history, and it started with Egypt, right? Let alone, we can even go into Nimrod, right? So how the Lord made the language confusion because of what was going on in the time of Nimrod, right? This is Luke chapter 1, verse 68, dealing with Zacharias prophesying. It says, blessed be Yahweh Shemashai, God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, right? The Lord throughout history, he always been visiting us, let alone when we go to Isaiah 41, 26 and 9, or is it 29 and 6? The Lord visits the earth through disasters, fires, storms, and earthquakes. Let alone the Lord visit us when he had an angel come down, right? When you go into 2nd Esdras, Ezra is having dreams, and his angels is in the midst of him, right? Tobit, right? Let alone when Yahushua was touching on the earth, he was visiting this place. The Lord is always observing, and he's visiting this place in the spirit. Let alone, it says, and redeem his people, right? And that time is coming when Yahushua is going to physically, literally redeem his people from out this place. And Lord willing, you praying, Lord willing, you calling on the name of Yahweh Shemashai, that can be you, right? But just get this last verse. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 5 again. And we're going to read verse 28. And this is what it reads, right? Maybe I might do a part 2 to this, because this is where things, we go into another speed bump where you got to break, you got to get into it, right? Verse 28, it says, and now, O Yahweh, why hast thou given thee one people over unto many, and upon the one root hast thou prepared others? And why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? Right? Why did the Lord put those chosen, the people, those one people to many? You want to know how? You want to know why? It's because we didn't fucking listen. Right? We wanted to be like a an Israelite child in 2023. I'm gonna do what I want, right? Well, we constantly did this, right? This is why. This is why the Lord did that to us, right? This is Judges chapter 2, verse 10. And also, all that generation were gathered unto their fathers, and there arose another generation after them, which knew not Yahweh Shemashai, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel, right? Every time we keep having kids, we not teaching our kids, and our kids is not growing in age knowing Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So if you're not teaching your children who Yahweh Shem Yahushai is, and they don't know who he is, they don't know squat from diddly dippity doo, right? Scooby Dooby Doo, right? They're gonna grow up with the same mindset of not knowing nothing, and basically they're gonna be dumb in the spirit, right? Not knowing a damn spit, right? And then guess what? When they don't know Yahweh Shai, they cleave on to anything that looks right, that feels good, that make their spirit don't feel conflicted that they doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? They might go into witchcraft, go into same sex, go into freaking other witchcraft, voodoos, some other whole lefty stuff that all Israel always did, right? Let alone we even have Israel that don't know. Then you have Israel that do know, but they still go do what they want to do. And that's how you know, through the scriptures and looking at what's outside and looking at the nations, you can tell who are the people of the Bible. But Lord willing, through the power and the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, this was edifying, you know. And if it wasn't, we just gonna do it again. So now you know from 2nd Esdras, the 5th chapter, verse 21 to 28. Until next time, Shalom Israel.